I mean, Flop, what have we been? What has my club been dealing with the past fucking 6 months, if that?
The
More
marshals.
than that. Not even the marshals. I've been helping and taking care of Ziggy and Rue every day. Every week I hear something fresh about guilt tripping, emotional manipulation, giving them impossible what ifs every single day of what if you have to shoot this person? What if you end up in a shootout with this person? What are you going to do? How do you avoid that? And then playing the victim and victim blaming constantly. So much so that it drained Ziggy and Rue so much that they couldn't even do their own, they couldn't function in the club correctly and how they should be. I've been extremely generous with how long I let that go. And that's that bit, that's only Edda's side. And you get to the other side. You get Dark, who joined the Marshals, who joined the government faction that is built to dismantle large criminal organizations.
Oh.
Hello.
Eddie can be here for this.
What are we talking about?
What do you think?
Sorry.
Someone who chose to pick a fight with us, knowing everything, knowing Ziggy's involvement, Bruce's involvement, and your attachment to them, still decided one of the first things he's going to do is investigate us, because that's clearly what's happening. He flies drones over here weekly. He interrogated Maggie under duress when she lost a friend. And I heard the line of question because Faye was in there with him and had to stop him. Because he would upset her deliberately to then get the answers to the questions he wanted. This is a man that has gone through severe head trauma, apparently. And
You're talking about Richard?
I'm talking about Dark, yeah.
Yeah.
And has ultimately picked a fight. And I've given him warnings. He used to be a cop. He's a marshal. He should know full well. He's asking for you, by the way, Edward. I don't do it.
Yeah.
That part's kind of a repeat of what we've talked about already, and
Yeah.
I've made it clear that I'm doing things that my family wouldn't agree with, and they're doing things that I don't agree with. And I've told them that so long as you leave me be, I'll let them be. And Richard's not an idiot. He knows what he's doing.
They may be leaving you be, Flop, but they're not leaving us alone.
Richard's not leaving you alone.
Nope. But I mean,
he knows
somewhat as well. I don't take manipulation very kindly, Flop. Like, I really don't.
I know you don't. Again, you've made that clear with me.
No one should take it lightly. It's one of the lowest things you can do to someone. And the fact that the so-called bad guys in this are the ones who are trying to fight against it speaks immense volumes.
Let's put this in perspective. Do you know how well Ziggy and Rue could be doing? How happy they could be? those two have made it to command of this club under the bullshit that they've been dealing with for the past 6 months. They've been dealing with all that family weight, all that what ifs, all that guilt tripping, and have still made it to command and still help everybody in this club to the point where they have to be forced to take breaks.
Truth be told, I'm unaware of the club side of things. I don't normally ask about it. As I've stated to both of them, and I've also told you, and others, there's no title attached to my name, there's no affiliation to my name. And it is not my business to know a lot of their details of what they do with the club. And I'm aware of that. So truthfully, I don't know how it's actually affected the club in particular.
I'm just talking about them specifically. The club, that doesn't matter. I'm talking about them and how well they do and how happy they are day to day.
Mhm.
I mean, you ask yourself, how much did you deal with it? How happy were you the past 4 months dealing with that?
I mean, it's always going to be a weight on my shoulders. The only return I've ever asked for from anybody was for them to understand that I should have died. And when I said that I was going to go do stuff that finally made me happy, I was hoping for the inkling of support. Truth be told, the response I gave to, I forget who I said this to, I said that it sometimes feels like dying would have been easier. So I won't lie to you. There are quite a few times where the weight of it is a lot. I've never asked for acceptance. I've never asked for agreement. I've only ever asked for understanding.
Hmm.
Granted, that's my side.
Yeah.
I don't speak for anyone else on that.
No, I know you don't. I mean, you rarely ask for understanding of me, Flop. I normally just give it to you. Um, out of curiosity, how much understanding do you have of our actions compared to your father's? Because Etta had no idea when I told her about it.
I know that Richard has been poking a bear. And I believe it was Ziggy I made clear with. I said that I know the risk that I put myself in doing the things that I want to do. And he knows the risk of the things that he was doing.
Give us a second, Tally.
I can't stay.
No.
I knew the risk.
Unless
And
you want Tally in here. Do you want Tally in here?
that's entirely up to you, Sean.
You've been spending a lot of time with her. Do you want Tally in here?
I wouldn't mind if she was here. That is
Abby, can you go get her?
Yeah, of course.
you want me to wait or do you want me to continue?
It's up to you.
He has always had a way of expressing his love. Truth be told, Sean, I have been almost entirely distanced from both my fathers since leaving.
She's on her way.
The distancing, from how I understand it, is the only way I saw my father ever trying to have a chance of getting to keep some form of communication with me. Granted, I might be wrong about that, but that is a strict guess, considering I haven't actually spoken words with him in God knows how long. But this falls right back down that little totem pole of I understand the risk of the things that I've chosen to do. And I would have hoped and still hope that he understands the gratification of the things that he's putting himself into. And I've expressed to him myself, the last time I spoke with him face to face, the gravity of how much I dislike the Marshals. He knows my stance on them. He knows my stance on Sanguine. He knows my stance on it all. And as much as I would love for him to walk away and leave, if this is what makes him happy, it's not my job to tell him otherwise. He knows better to know what comes. And he knows there's nothing I can do to stop that. He chose that. I won't bullshit you. It tears me a little bit. Personally, but really nothing I can do to change that.
Nope.
It's his life.
Well, it's you'll learn. I didn't think he had to learn, considering his profession. He's held, or the people he holds around him are also held accountable. I mean, Etta has had her part to play with the emotional side of things and draining everything. But yeah. Be honest with you, Flop, I just lost my patience. There's been plenty of time for all of them to read the writing on the wall, clear as day, and accept what has happened, accept Ziggy's decision. And if they choose to accept, I mean, Brew into their life, I mean, they don't have to accept her decision. She made that a long time ago, but they knew full well. But instead of that, instead of going down the route of acceptance and the all the bullshit of saying they've tried, do this, do that, when they haven't, I'm sick of it.
So in regards to what happened with Etta, was and mind you, I was given the 15-second TLDR ICU room, fourth ear to ear to ear conversation about this, so I don't have the details. And I was going to talk to Finn about it, but any of what happened today in regards to whatever the hell happened at the hospital yesterday?
I'll be honest with you, the details of what happened yesterday are minute. They are the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
I heard about this. I didn't even hear about it from Finn. I heard about it from Rue. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about it. So, I'll be honest. I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I got Ivy to bring Etta out, have a chat with her, and then I showed up. I confronted her about the stuff that happened yesterday. I didn't ask, or I didn't nitpick it. I just asked what had happened. Don't really care what happened. It added up to what Rue said. No, I don't agree with anything that she said, but it just sounded like very much emotionally affected by it all, which doesn't surprise me. And I told her, I believe what comes out of her mouth to an extent because it's just emotionally charged. I just don't have any sympathy for emotionally charged yelling at me, to be honest. So I then informed her what Dark has been doing, and that there's two sides to the coin. She's one side, he's the other. I've had plenty of interactions with Dark for him to get the idea that, there are, I don't know how many other gangs, clubs, whatever you want to call them in the city, and he chose us. He wasn't getting that picture. And Etta told me that she's been trying for weeks to get him into the hospital for a checkup or to talk to her. So I get to do, I get a warning, and then I get 2 birds, 1 stone. You'll have to go into the hospital to talk to her. If she survived, I don't know if she survived it. I assume she did, because I feel like you'd be in a much worse state if she didn't.
If she
But
didn't
that's
what? I'm sorry.
survive.
She's alive.
She should be. I was careful with where I hit.
Yeah, that's sent to Ivy.
And I made sure she can remember exactly what she is.
So that's the warning to Dark. Stop in his tracks. Go find someone else to investigate. Okay, the rest of the marshals can come investigate, so we'll welcome it. But if Dark does it, this gets a whole lot worse. And I don't know if Dark thinks I don't have the balls to do it. So I hope he very much gets the idea that I do. Everything up to now has been a courtesy flop.
Regarding the 911, the only reason I know about it is because Maple was concerned that it could involve me. I'm going to ask straight up. Do you intend on coming after me?
Coming after you?
The way you worded the 911 was that it was a message to Dark. And that if things continued, it would be the rest of the family. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but I'd rather ask now.
No, I have no plans to hurt you. He doesn't need to know that, though.
I figure not. I figured it's more of a generalization to get the point across.
I mean, everybody here, well, will tell you we're all capable of anything. I have no sympathy for hypocrites, liars, and manipulators. Those who call themselves civilians when in reality they're so far from the fact. Using the marshals, the doctors who has a mask for their own twisted, fucked up morality that they want to lie themselves to, or lie to themselves about. I have like, I'm pretty sure I could probably speak for these three. I and myself, I have no doubts of who I am and what I do.
Pretty sure that's everybody in the club.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's why we don't have to play mental games with people. We're not trying to prove something and convince someone else to do something that we want them to do.
Mm. I got that much. I at least know that much. I can't tell everyone who said it. I know I could say for certain you said it, Ed, but you guys have never claimed to be the good people.
We know what we are.
Mm-hmm. And I'm aware of it. I wish other people were aware of it, but can't really live other people's lives.
Maybe if you do get to talk to him, or talk to those who will talk to him, even in that, what happened to her? The last bit of courtesy I'll show is there. Because I could have done it, and I'm very blunt with a knife. I don't really give a shit what I hit. But I made sure Ivy did it because she knows where to go. Next time I'll do it.
I have said it since the beginning. I have said it the other day, and I will say it again now. A courtesy is an understatement for what a lot of you have done for me since I left. And yeah, I won't lie, I still have things that I'm working on. Stuff I'm getting over 4 years of commitments that I'm moving on from. And I've never once claimed to have a future, and I've never once claimed to have a title. And so long as that be the case, I know that you guys are going to do your thing. And I know that it does not involve me. And just understand that I respect that, and I understand that.
Hmm. Do you have any other questions?
I don't think so. Um, do with it what you will. Be mindful when I say this, because I was the only other person in the room. I did see Loki in the ICU room. I don't know if he's leading it, but for you to know.
Oh, I beg for them to push another warrant off of witness testimony again. I'll get another one fired.
Fired?
Yeah.
Rhodes got fired?
Yeah. All of his dirty laundry got aired out in the courtroom.
Mhm. Malicious prosecution.
Rights violations, a lot. Chief of police came up on the stand and said it herself. Didn't even have to be poked and prodded. Literally got asked like one question and spilled the entire tea about it. Said that she listened to the interrogation tape of Nana and had to stop a minute and a half in when she heard that him read her rights. She asked for a lawyer. He looked. He said, "Well, there's no lawyers available. So with that knowledge, you're gonna have to keep talking to me."
The fuck's he doing now?
Probably recovering from watching two people get stabbed in front of him the other day. Because that's what he did. He put two people in the same position that his dumb fuck friends put Chastity in. So I taught him a lesson about that.
He'll probably never learn. Truthfully, I'm not even remotely surprised that he got fired. Good riddance.
So yeah, if they put a warrant out, I mean they have a little bit more this time, but
They at least have a 911. I'm assuming you didn't anonymous it.
no, it didn't.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they can try and go for a warrant on you, but
Yeah, they can try.
I would expect a subpoena at best, but
Mm.
they won't get far with it.
Of course, they have to take the word of the paragon of virtue.
They
They
gotta
have
take,
nothing.
they gotta take what they can get, and they don't have much. So
Well, if Edda, Maple, Dark are all smart enough, they'll just leave it alone. Count their lucky star, she's not dead. You know? That's what it's meant to be.
can I ask one question?
Sure, you can ask anything.
Were either Ziggy or Rue aware of?
Nope.
Okay. I'm only asking so I know what my later day is gonna look like.
Nope. They do not know.
And I would assume you intend on telling him.
Yeah, they can know. I don't care.
Hmm.
Both of them knew something was going to happen to Dark at some point. That was a couple of weeks ago. We're
Right.
obviously in a very different space now.
Yeah, I mean, you told me yourself, so.
A lot of people are very fond of you, Fop. Just remember that.
Yeah, you're all right.
There's a joke in there somewhere for you, Ed, but I'm gonna refrain.
I'm married.
To who?
Fiona Stewart.
He doesn't know.
Now he does.
He's not gay?
I don't know what Edward
No,
is.
but he is married. Here. A gift. It's a knife I plunged into Ada between her 4th and 5th rib cage, and then carved victim in her back so she remembers what she is.
I feel like I just got to come out and ask this. Is it an often ADMC occurrence that you guys hand off murder weapons and attempted murder weapons to...
You're not a cop anymore.
Yeah, you handed me a fucking gun, now a knife.
Yeah?
I'm gonna have to get a binder.
It's Pokemon, you collect them all.
Is this a shiny?
I don't know if she cleaned it, maybe not.
Please don't.
Might
kill
wanna clean that.
Chinese. You're a serial killer.
Honestly, I'd rather you guys keep it, but I'll be
Yeah,
Yeah,
honest.
you
Don't-
just fucking throw it away.
You can
I'll,
give it to me. It's okay.
I'll toss it. I don't really care. There.
2,129.
I'm gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about later, obviously, with
Mm-hmm.
Ziggy and Rue, but I think you know that it's gonna be maybe a rough day or two while we talk. I'm gonna have to remind them though that I made up my mind about my family months ago. So
This is what this life is, Flom. As much as people make jokes about your whatever affiliation to us or what you look down in the future, this is what it is. And obviously it's going to sting a bit more because it is directly involving you. It won't always directly involve you. But this is what we do.
When you have a chance,
Yes.
please let me out.
I know.
Sorry, coming.
Unfortunately, Sean, if there's only maybe one person who did know prior to my 2 weeks notice, it was unfortunately probably me. It's amazing how different this island would be if more people understood it.
So you can give me a minute.
Yes.
What's up, Sean?
Giving you a free room to say whatever you want to say. If there is anything.
What did you actually see in me the day that we were at the hospital?
When in the cafeteria or when you were in the corner?
Both.
I mean, when you were with your head in your hands, someone who's broken, tired, confused, or uncertain of what to do. Or maybe coming to terms with the reality of what you wanted to do. One of the two. Probably the second one, considering where you're sitting. And then the second one, I mean, you made your decision. I give you a lot of credit for that because you are so steadfast and very determined in that decision, even now. Even after Ed is in the hospital. Because she was attacked by my orders. So I don't know what you want, Flop, in the future. I could probably guess what a few people in this club want for you. That doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they would take care of you if it came to that decision, but I very rarely have to spell stuff out for you, I think. I don't like stating the obvious to you. Some people I have to do it. I don't like doing it to you because I feel like you already know.
Most of the time I do. Maybe it's a quality, maybe it's not, but most of the time I definitely do. Like I said, I will never pretend to see a future. As funny enough, JT put it, I'm still learning how to be a civilian. And so
You're not a
long.
civilian. You fucking street race. Don't fucking lie to yourself.
Okay, you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. Don't
What?
lie to yourself.
Oh, come
I'm
on
from
now.
cops. Civilian goes to fucking the food court and works, or is a doctor and doesn't do anything. Criminal. You are not a civilian, Flop. Fucking forget about that. You were law enforcement. You were a civilian for maybe half a day, and then you were a fucking criminal. You've boosted with the people that try to kill you. You've street raced. You've run from cops. You were so paranoid the other day that you thought your plate was still flagged from the day before. Not a civilian. You're a mechanic and you're a criminal. Because right now, even now, you are coming to terms with what I did because you actually see reason to it.
Hmm.
It just depends. Depends what you do next. You know, you have your petty stuff, your street race. Maybe you go steal a HVAC unit or something. I don't know. They're all things you do outside of your life. But eventually, a decision is gonna have to. It's going to come to you again, and it's going to be the same one that came to Ziggy, and the same one that came to Rue. Because the telling thing for me is that there are people doing things for you not because they're doing it because you're Ziggy's partner or Rue's adopted father. They're doing it because they like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference maker. That's why I didn't have an answer for you when you left the PD. And I'm still on the fence about it now because I need to see more of it. Because it's not just down to what I see.
Like said, I still have things that I'm moving on from. And I won't pretend to see a future.
I don't think you need to pretend, Flop. I think you need to sit with the real fact that this could be your future, and you need to come to terms with it if you can or not. I think
That-
you need to start thinking about that at some point.
That's the issue, though, is that if I did, it would contradict what JT told me.
What's that?
He asked what my future was. I said, right now, it's living my life and understanding my boundaries and where I need to be. And his response was good, because if it was the club, I would have told you to get the fuck off the roof and never talk to me again. Of course, I see a future.
I
Pretty
would
fucking hard not to,
pinch of
considering.
salt with that, considering that JT has none of the context of which I have. Be careful when you ask people vague questions like that when they don't have the context of everything that's happened. Be very careful with that, because then you get jaded answers. You get answers that don't fit to what has happened to your past experiences. That's why I'm very careful when I ask for advice, because I need someone who has either gone through something very similar or has gone through it with me. I do not ask someone completely on the outside for advice and take it word for word. I'll take bits from it, sure. But if you go ask anybody in this club that doesn't have the knowledge of everything that you've gone through, and then ask them that question, you're going to get the same answer or something very similar to it.
Which question?
Then he asks the what you see. What was it?
Yeah, JT asked me.
Yeah,
The,
JT's question.
the way you worded it, it sounded like I
Sorry.
asked JT about his future.
No. Sorry, the way JT asked it. Sorry.
Maybe that's the difference, is that I don't know how much everyone else knows about me.
Not a lot.
I'm sure Edbert has a good gauge, and I know you have a good gauge, but I guess I can't speak for everyone else.
They don't need to. They don't need to know everything that you've gone through. They'll hear tidbits of it.
They just need to see it.
They just need to see what you are now. What you're capable of, what your your mindset is, what your lifestyle choice is going to be. If they can trust you. Not just that you won't snitch, but that they can trust you with their life, that if anybody pulls a gun on them, and I mean anybody, pulls a gun on them, you pull yours and you shoot that person. Or if somebody threatens them, regardless of how...
Hey.
Hello. Regardless of how innocent anybody thinks that they are.
You guys got any food?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, here.
Oh, please. Thanks.
No worries. That's what people need to see, Bob. Or have the trust that you will do that. And if you want my honest answer right now, and I think you're probably agree with me, I don't think you could do that.
This very second. I think you're right. I don't think I could this second.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe fight or flight kicks in, but then you deal with the aftermath of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you have to come to an answer. I'm just telling that that is a very real thing that you're going to have to start thinking about.
I think that's the difference, though, Sean, is that it's not that I haven't thought about it. It's that I won't ever admit it. I have been thinking about it. It's a thought that comes to me quite literally every single day.
Well, keep sitting with it. The best thing you can do for right now is to sit with it and deal with everything that just happened today. Because what ruins Ziggy be looking to you for your reaction to all this.
I think the next day or two are going to be a lot of conversations, but I think my opinion will be reiterated. So,
Right now, this is as best it's gonna get. This feeling for everybody involved in this. I'm gonna give you this warning to pass on. Like, if the warning wasn't enough that she's in hospital, if I hear a hint that Dark will continue on, or for that fact, Maple says a fucking word or does anything outside of a warrant. I mean, a warrant I expect.
they know
I
what
will
they're
keep-
getting into.
I will keep true to that 911.
I know you will.
All right. Let you out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
If you need anything, give me a call. I did have a sandwich. I forgot to fucking give it to Shang. I'm gonna replay this song. I think it's telling. There's a lot to break down in that conversation. Also, thank you for the new subs in that, by the way. I appreciate you. I think that was the first time Flop ever actually admitted to anybody in the club that he saw a future with him in the club. I don't see this emote. Oh, Flop knows that Dark's been using drones and trying to, you know, poke the bear. They've been complaining about it for a while. He doesn't know how persistent it is, but Ugh.
Hello.
Hey. We must
Yeah.
have walked out as you
Came
walked
back
up.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you?
Just driving right now. I'm up on Marlowe. I don't know.
Do you want company?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, come pick me up.
It might be
outside the Hyman.
quicker to meet me halfway if you have your car.
Oh, where's Marlo though? Give me landmarks, man.
All right. Actually, meet me at the Vinewood sign.
Ooh, Toge? Okay.
Vinewood sign's probably the easiest landmark.
Yep. I'll be there.
I'll explain more, but
Do
long
you
and
need food or drink?
no, I don't. Do you want to stop and grab? I need.
Yeah, I'll grab some food.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be up by the Vinewood sign.
All right. I'll be there.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right, I'll see you.
Bye bye. I think it's very interesting how much Flop can read Sean as much as Sean can read Flop. Like, there's a couple opportunities where Sean will say something and Flop will finish his sentence, and then there's times where Flop will say something and Sean will finish his sentence. There's a lot of like very weird chemistry between the two for how different their lives are. I think that's the difference though, is that Flop understands that life. The thing though that you have to understand is, and I know you guys are saying, oh my God, Sean called you out so hard, but the reality is that the thing with JT is because Flop was under the impression that Sean was informed with everybody about like Flop's involvement and what he's done. That's the first time anyone has ever told Flop that Sean ever disclosed what happened to him leading up to where he was at. That was the first time that was ever like properly disclosed. Flop was under the impression that the club was well aware as to where Flop came from and what his intentions were and why he did what he did. And it's very interesting to see the dynamic. Flop is not happy with the fact that Edo was caught in the crossfire. He's not happy that this is all. I'll tell you this much. Flop is having a hard time with the idea that, you know, hey, we're gonna essentially go after every ounce of your family because they're getting in the way of the club. Which Flop personally does have a hard time with. He understands why they're doing it, but it doesn't alter or change the fact that in Flop's mind, it's still just a heavy load to kind of have a burden for. So what's up, Phil? How you doing? Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're doing well. Or naturally unreasonable Flop can be both upset and understanding. Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to bear in mind that I'm playing Flop very much in the sense that you have to still look at him as a, you know, coming off 4 years as a cop, right? It's not that Flop quit immediately like a light switch. Boom. Yep. You know what? Cop life. Done. Fucking out of there. Worm, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the love and all the subs and all the just support in general. And thank you, Toxic, for the donation as well, by the way. I do appreciate it. Support's been pretty fucking wild from everybody. I'm just trying to make the most of what is a very, 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 very big change to Flop's story, but I've been enjoying it, and I just hope that everyone else has been enjoying it to some degree as well. Oh man, I can't wait until Flop is ready for Hangy. I mean, I keep trying to express it to Sean and other people. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I've been awake for about 22 hours. Almost exactly 22 hours. No, it's the slow burn, like ADMC, yeah. Hey,
I'm at the sign.
all good. I'm grabbing gas real quick and I'll be up there. I was so dangerously low in gas that if I drove up there, I don't think I would have had enough to get to the closest gas station. So
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm trying to think where we could go from the Vinewood sign. I feel like the Vinewood sign's like too cliche. We could always go to like the top of the road, I guess. I don't know.
We'll go to your favorite spot. Well, I like Toge. Honestly, we can go wherever the fuck you want.
I'll meet you at the Vinewood sign. We'll cross that bridge if we get bored. How about that?
Okay.
All right. I'll be there in like 2 minutes.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. I will say this much. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't think what happened yesterday with Rue was a minimal thing. The timing was a little bit too much there. How do I say this? Based on what, or I guess what Maple said to Flop about what happened yesterday, Maple brought up Sanguine. And pretty much said that she was kind of playing victim about Sanguine or whatever it was. But what Flop has expressed to Maple and has given up with Maple about, and what Flop has openly and very explicitly expressed to Etta about on numerous occasions, was that Rue deals with post-traumatic stress, real PTSD from Sanguine, and she has a hard time with it, and that you need to give her the patience to learn how to cope with her feelings on these things and understand that it is an incredibly sensitive topic for her. And when Flop heard Maple pretty much say that, you know, she played victim with the idea of Sanguine, Flop's immediate, like, conclusive response to that mentally was he doesn't know who Rue is at all. Which is kind of a sad way of going about things, but that is a very factual way that Flop would perceive that is, you know, Flop told Etta, this is Rue. She needs to be given